improved single-seat all-weather air superiority fighter version, 483 built in 1979-1985. The last 43 F-15Cs were upgraded with an forward/APG-70 radar and later the an forward/APG-63 V1 radar. F-15D two-seat training version, 92 built in 1979-1985. The Israeli Air Force uses this version as a strike fighter. F-15J single-seat all-weather air superiority fighter version for the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. 139 built under license in Japan by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries from 1981-1997, an additional 2 built in St. Louis. F-15DJ two-seat training version for the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. 12 built in St. Louis, and 25 built under license in Japan by Mitsubishi in the period 1981-1997. F-15N Sea Eagle. The F-15N was a carrier-capable variant proposed in the early 1970s to the U.S. Navy as an alternative to the heavier and, at the time, considered to be riskier technology program, the Grumman F-14 Tomcat. It did not have a long-range radar or the long-range missiles used by the F-14. The F-15N PHX was another proposed naval version capable of carrying the AIM-54 Phoenix missile, but with an enhanced version of the an forward/APG-63 radar on the F-15O. These featured folding wingtips, reinforced landing gear and a stronger tailhook for shipboard operation. F-15 2040C. Proposed upgrade to the F-15C, allowing it to supplement the F-22 in the air superiority role. The 2040C concept is an evolution of the Silent Eagle proposed to South Korea and Israel, with some low observable improvements but mostly a focus on the latest air capabilities and lethality. Proposal includes infrared search and track, doubling the number of weapon stations, with quad racks for a maximum of 16 air-to-air missiles, Eagle passive forward/active warning survivability system, EPORS, conformal fuel tanks, upgraded APG-63 V3 AESA radar and a Talon-Haight communications pod allowing data transfer with the F-22. This upgrade program was not pursued due to the age of the existing airframes, but some of the upgrades were applied to the new build F-15X. Strike Eagle derivatives, edit. F-15E Strike Eagle. Two-seat all-weather multi-role strike version, fitted with conformal fuel tanks. It was developed into the F-15I, F-15S, F-15K, F-15SG, and is the basis of the F-15 Advanced Eagle family. Over 400 F-15E and derivative variants produced since 1985. F-15F Strike Eagle. Originally proposed as single-seat F-15E for Saudi Arabia, later reserved for Singaporean F-15S, delivered as F-15SG. F-15SE Silent Eagle. A proposed F-15E variant from March 2009 with a reduced radar cross-section via changes such as replacing conformal fuel tanks with conformal weapons bays and canting the twin vertical tails 15 degrees outward, which would reduce their radar signature while providing a slight boost to lift to help offset the loss of conformal fuel tanks. F-15 Advanced Eagle. Further development of the F-15E with revised wing structure and digital fly-by-wire and is the basis for the F-15SAT, F-15QA, F-15X, and other variants. Current production baseline. Prototypes, edit. 12 prototypes were built and used for trials by the F-15 Joint Test Force at Edwards Air Force Base using McDonnell Douglas and United States Air Force personnel. Most prototypes were later used by NASA for trials and experiments. F-15-01, AF serial number 71-0280, was the first F-15 to fly on the 11th of July, 1972 from Edwards Air Force Base. It was used as a trial aircraft for exploring the flight envelope, general handling and testing the carriage of external stores. F-15-01, AFSA. Number 71-0281. The second prototype first flew on the 26th of September, 1972 and was used to test the F-100 engine. F-15-02, AFSA. Number 71-0282. First flew on the 4th of November, 1972 and was used to test the APG-63 radar and avionics. F-15-02, AFSA. Number 71-0283. First flew on the 13th of January, 1973 and was used as a structural test aircraft. It was the first aircraft to have the smaller wingtips to clear a severe buffet problem found on earlier aircraft. F-15-02, AFSA. Number 71-0284. First flew on the 7th of March, 1973. It was used for armament development and was the first aircraft fitted with an internal cannon. F-15-03, AFSA. Number 71-0285. First flew on the 23rd of May, 1973 and was used to test the missile fire control system and other avionics. F-15-03, AFSA. Number 71-0286. First flew on the 14th of June, 1973 and was used for armament trials and testing external fuel stores. F-15-04, AFSA. Number 71-0287. First flew on the 25th of August, 1973 and was used for spin recovery, angle of attack and fuel system testing. It was fitted with an anti-spin recovery parachute. The aircraft was loaned to NASA from 1976 for engine development trials. F-15-04, AFSA. Number 71-0288. First flew on the 20th of October, 1973 and was used to test integrated aircraft and engine performance. It was later used by McDonnell Douglas as a test aircraft in the 1990s. F-15-04, AFSA. Number 71-0289. First flew on the 30th of January, 1974 and was used for trials on the radar, avionics and electronic warfare systems. F-15B1, AFSA. Number 71-0290. The first two-seat prototype originally designated the TF-15. It first flew on the 7th of July, 1973. F-15B2, AFSA. Number 71-0291. First flew on the 18th of October, 1973 as a TF-15 and used as a test and demonstration aircraft. In 1976 it made an overseas sales tour painted in markings to celebrate the bicentenary of the United States. Also used as the development aircraft for the F-15E as well as the first F-15 to use conformal fuel tanks. Research and test, edit. F-15 Streak Eagle, AFSA. Number 72-0119. An unpainted F-15 stripped of most avionics demonstrated the fighter's acceleration capabilities. The aircraft broke 8 time-to-climb world records between the 16th of January and the 1st of February, 1975 at Grand Forks AFB, ND. It was delivered to the National Museum of the United States Air Force in December, 1980. The aircraft is currently on display in the museum's Research and Development hangar. F-15*/MTD, AFSA. Number 71-0290. The first F-15B was converted into a short takeoff and landing, maneuver technology demonstrator aircraft. In the late 1980s it received canard flight surfaces in addition to its usual horizontal tail, along with square thrust vectoring nozzles. It was used as a short takeoff forward/maneuver technology demonstrator, S/MTD. F-15 active, AFSA. Number 71-0290. The F-15S forward/MTD was later converted into an advanced flight control technology research aircraft with thrust vectoring nozzles. F-15IFCS, AFSA. Number 71-0290. The F-15 active was then converted into an intelligent flight control systems research aircraft. F-15B 71-0290 was the oldest F-15 still flying when retired in January 2009. F-15 Manx. Concept name for a tailless variant of the F-15 active, but the NASA active experimental aircraft was never modified to be tailless. F-15 Flight Research Facility, AFSA. Number 71-0281 and AFSA. Number 71-0287. Two F-15 aircraft were acquired in 1976 for use by NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center for numerous experiments. Notable experiments include highly integrated digital electronic control, high DEC, adaptive engine control system, ADEX, self-repairing and self-diagnostic flight control system, SRFCS, and propulsion-controlled aircraft system, PCA. 71-0281, the second flight test F-15 was returned to the Air Force and became a static display at Langley AFB in 1983. F-15B Research Test, AFSA. Number 74-0141. Acquired in 1993, it was an F-15B modified and used by NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center for flight tests. Operators, edit. Main article, list of McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle operators. This article only covers the F-15O, B, C, D, and related variants. For the operators of other F-15E-based variants, like the F-15E, F-15I, F-15S, F-15K, F-15SG, or F-15X, see McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle and Boeing F-15X Eagle II. Israel. One Israeli Air Force has operated F-15S since 1977. The IAF operates 38 F-15As, 6 F-15Bs, 16 F-15Cs and 11 F-15Ds in service as of 2022. Japan. One Japan Air Self-Defense Force operates 155 Mitsubishi F-15J and 44 F-15DJ fighters produced under license by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Saudi Arabia. One Royal Saudi Air Force has 46 F-15C and 16 F-15D fighters in operation as of 2024. United States. One United States Air Force operates 168 F-15C and 18 F-15D total aircraft as of mid-2022. 2 NASA currently operates one F-15B-836 as a testbed for a variety of flight research experiments and 2 F-15D-884 and -897 for research support and pilot proficiency. NASA in the past used an F-15B-835 to test highly integrated digital engine control system, HIDIC, at Edwards AFB in 1988.
The camcorder is out of power, need to charging. So just stop the video and charging my camcorder.